What is up, everyone? If you don't know yet, this year has been pretty big for internet based horror films. We've gotten Backrooms and Obsession, both directed by YouTubers. The Backrooms was a wildly successful adaptation of the YouTube horror series, mainly due to the fact that they had the original creator direct it, which was one of the best decisions they could have possibly made because if you don't know, the movie is great. I saw it and yeah, it is atmospheric, perfectly captures the essence of the original series while still being able to make meaningful adaptational changes for the movie format. Obsession, I haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's good, and it's also directed by a YouTuber, I believe. So might check that one out. But if these two films are an indicator of everything, is that we need more internet-based films, films based on these projects, allowing YouTubers to just let their creative capabilities take hold and make something truly special, something born from passion, experience, not born from the money making machine that is Hollywood and so many of these streaming studios. No, born from the genuine desire to make art. I also forgot to mention Iron Lung, Markiplier's passion project that he spent years working on, and that was decently successful. So, yeah, Iron Lung, Backrooms, and Obsession are all indicators that there is going to be a greater rise in this sort of subgenre of horror films, ones based on internet series or horror games made by content creators. And a couple days ago, or I guess not a couple days ago, but in the last few days, we've gotten some news regarding two new adaptations of popular internet horror series. One of them is, I believe, Warner Brothers is making a Siren Head film. And I don't know how that's going to turn out, but it has potential. But the one I want to talk about today is very special to me because if you don't know, I am a analog horror enthusiast. I know I've probably completely lost sight of my analog horror roots because recently I've dipped more into literary stuff, film stuff, other projects, but if you don't know, back a few months ago, I was highly focused on my analog horrors, but I kind of forgot about them, and they've just kind of been sitting in the back of my mind ever since. But the fact still stands that analog horror is one of the biggest art forms for me in my life, and the Mandela Catalogue is possibly my favorite analog horror out there, or at least one of my favorites. It's a bit of a competition between that and the Walton Files, but that's not getting a movie. This is. The Mandela Catalogue is being made into a movie. Now, I knew this was probably going to happen somewhere down the line with how much it's expanded from its original series, and it just keeps on getting better and better with every video. It is consistent, and it doesn't fall into mostly doesn't fall into the occasional trappings of analog horror. But the best part about all of this, about this film, the thing that pretty much seals the deal and guarantees this to be at least good, it is being made by Steven Spielberg. Steven fucking Spielberg, the most iconic film director probably ever, is actually dipping his toes into analog horror territory. This is the kind of territory that you'd never really think he would look into. But after Hollywood saw the success of Backrooms and Obsession, they wanted in on the action, and it looks like Spielberg does as well. And he couldn't have made a better choice because Mandela Catalog is one of the richest, eeriest, most disturbing analog horrors out there, and I could see so much potential for a movie. I can already visualize how they do it in my head. But of course, that's not even the best part. That's only the second best part. Spielberg producing it. He's not directing it. The director, on the other hand, they looked at what they did with Backrooms and they decided, you know what? Let's have the original creator take the reins. And Alex Kister, I believe that's the right name, the original creator of the Mandela Catalogue series, is set to direct the film. They couldn't have made a better decision. Holy crap, this is going to be amazing because Mandela Catalog is already a masterpiece of analog horror, and with these two names, the masterful Alex Kister, who has mastered analog horror, and Spielberg, who has mastered film, these two working in tandem can create possibly the best internet horror film yet. You know, like I look at Obsession, I look at Backrooms, they had great potential and they've delivered. But this has the potential to be a horror classic, not just one of the best internet based horror films, one of the best horror films of our generation. Because the bones are there. Spielberg, Alex Kister, the Mandela Catalog, like, it's going to be a slam dunk. Even if it's not like amazing film, it's for sure, seeing the amount of people that have invested themselves in this series, in analog horror, because these internet films have been financial slam dunks. They have made millions, hundreds of millions, far outshooting their budgets. And this might be the same kind of case. Do I have any skepticisms? I can't really have one yet because it's really early. They just announced it. It's probably hasn't even started pre-production yet. So we'll see down the line in a few years how it turns out. But for now, this has really given me hope in internet horror, expanding beyond just the internet itself, but to film. You know, like my own personal projects. Hey, maybe I might have a chance to actually adopt my own analog horror. Who knows? Um, Speaking of analog horror, I did announce a bit back that Gods of Wyoming, that analog horror series I was gonna do, was gonna get off the ground, but I kind of decided to kind of make some liberties and cancel a few of those projects. I'm still kind of undergoing the planning on what not to do, what to do, but one that is guaranteed is I will be doing Millipede Transmission 1978. You guys probably don't remember that one, but it's pretty much uh, it's kind of inspired by the Boiled one, and I don't know, you'll see when it comes out, but I'm currently looking into starting production on that one. It's going to be easy to edit, simple but effective. And then House of Alexis, that religious analog horror that I'm doing, that's also, I'm going to start work on that soon enough. And the Blood Meridian movie, that I don't have the rights to it, but I'm not technically doing it illegally because I'm not distributing the film. I'm just making a passion project on YouTube for people to see freely. It's going to be long. It's going to take a long time to make, but I'm doing it because no one's making a Blood Meridian movie. See? So really, this has inspired me and so many other content creators to actually pursue their own passionate film projects, you know? With Obsession, Backrooms, and now the Mandela Catalog film. Even Siren Head got a chance to become a film. So who says my own projects can't? Who says your project can't? This is an indicator that film studios are finally looking into the internet, seeing the talent on there rather than just in the Hollywood space. And if they continue down this route, I think we're going to have an internet film renaissance where content creators are finally allowed to take the creative reins of their own passion projects and do the art they want to do, create the film they want to make with little interference. Maybe there's going to be some interference here and there because not all these projects are going to turn out good, but the ones that do speak wonders about the often overlooked potential for filmmakers on YouTube, on Reddit, on so many of these, so many different social media platforms. There are so many talented artists that are just waiting for their time to shine, and that time seems to be coming. So yeah, none of this wouldn't none of this would have happened if it weren't for Backrooms and Obsession to really show what they've been missing out on. And now that Hollywood's finally waking up and seeing the potential in all these artists, I couldn't be more happy that they're finally getting their chance to shine. And the Mandela catalog is about to be a banger because, like, there's definitely a chance that maybe it might not turn out great, but also there's a really high chance that it turns out amazing, like Backrooms, and apparently like Obsession as well. But who am I to judge because the film is still like a few years away, so we'll just have to wait until then. But until then, I will see you in the next one. Good luck.